I mean, it's still very open. Like if you take a look at the draft, you don't know exactly where people are laning. The Dragon Knight, though, of course, has been just coming up so much here in
Yeah.
terms of popularity and whatnot. But that's interesting that TOOBASED has picked up a monkeys. Perhaps the
God,
Batrider is what I'm thinking. Yeah, Jenkins. I
Jenkins,
saw you
are you
make
excited?
a. I heard you do a sound. So
I'm so conflicted on this hero because every time at the major I would say, "Oh my god, this is a free bat game." It would relentlessly feed and lose. So the
Yeah.
problem
but
with
it's
this
monkeys.
that's the thing is it's monkeys. So if there's anybody that can play it, it's this guy. He is the best bat in the region, barring Abed. So it's a monkey's bat, but you'd think that Batrider versus DK is a good matchup because DK has this high physical resist. You can run the DK down in lane and kill him. You can't do the typical thing where he's just tanky and wins any lane. You can run him down even outside of the laning stage. Same thing with Mars. Same thing with Viper. All of these heroes die to Batrider, but there's a lot of instant stun for the Batrider when he does jump in. That's the thing with DK versus Bat. You think it's going to be Bat favored, and then Bat jumps into lasso somebody. He's stunned for 4 seconds, and he just feeds because he's right in the middle of the entire enemy team stunned by this instant stunning Blink DK. And no matter what lane DK is going to go to, he's going to pick up a Blink, and that's going to be a factor in the game. So I'm really interested to see Monkeys play this. Maybe he'll go for the Ether Lens build, which people are doing these days, as opposed to going for a Blink Dagger. So you're kind of playing at the sides of team fights rather than like jumping in. So maybe that'll help. But yeah, it's super conflicted on this hero.
Do you think for sure it's gonna be monkeys? I mean, I know monkeys is the best bat player, but like bat mid seems to be a bit better this game than the bat offlane, at least in that space.
They will run I Annihilate offlane and monkeys bat mid. They've done it. They've done similar things before. Not I don't know if it was with Batrider, but I remember I Annihilate was playing Underlord, which is very strange for like a traditional mid laner to be playing a side lane Underlord. But the team has shown that they're very comfortable flexing him to side lanes, which makes sense. He plays a lot of like random roles in pubs, and he'll play carry, so he's used to playing in side lanes, even though he's an excellent mid laner.
It's also just a waste to pick up a Batrider and not have monkeys be playing it. In all honesty,
I agree. I don't think they're willing to do that. They'll get he'll beg for the hero, so he's getting it.
Okay, well we have last picks here. Then I'm assuming Simply Two-Base still need an offlaner. I mean, obviously the flex of the bat is here, but unless Bumblebees give him a free carry pick, that's what I'm assuming they need. And then Bumblebees probably a carry. What are we looking here? Any thoughts, Moxxi Jenkins?
Would have been Jug. That once again, like the Jug suggestion was very good already, and then you have Jug versus Batrider, which is a counter matchup. So Lifestealer is the one that instantly comes to mind in terms of you kill the egg, you deal with the Batrider in lane, you deal with the Luna. The only problem is you don't outfarm the Luna, and then you've Tusk who can punch Lifestealer, so he can't do the rage TP shenanigans. You Batrider lasso, but still looks like a pretty solid Lifestealer game. Oh, PL banned. Yeah, we need a bat counter for Simply Two-Based.
I think it's funny that they banned out like the majority of Eternal Envy's heroes that he's played so far in this qualifier, and then just everything else was very specialized to deal with the Batrider, and just the amount of magic damage that they can throw out for harass.
Yeah, Envy's definitely a player you can look to ban out. The guy is relentless in picking like one or two heroes depending on the patch. She's like, this is the best carry in the game. It kind of makes sense given how carries are the win condition of the game.
Okay, DP. I'm assuming. Okay, we'll see. The flex for DP and Batter is good, but Annihilate also a very solid DP player, so does stand to reason that you could play that on the offlane as well. On top of his previously mentioned skills, I like this. Two-based, caring for their mid/offlaner now.
Bumblebees?
Can you lifestealer against this?
I
don't think so.
Yeah, that's hard to lifestealer into because you drain through rage in lane, and I think Two-Base is comfortable putting Annihilate versus the carry. Void.
Okay, that's your bat counter.
Yeah, there's the counter.
Hero.
Yep.
Yeah, that is the most 50-50 hero I've ever seen, honestly.
Not much to throw into the Chronosphere. Wait, okay, maybe there is a lot to throw in the Chronosphere, actually. It's Viper mid. So there's the damage. It's going to be a 5
you're right, it
Mars.
was the Mars
Oh,
from 5.
5 Mars.
Which Moo has played before, by the way, on Sad Boys, just not successfully. But that's a very good call out, Jenkins. So, what team are you going for, Moxxi, seeing these 2 drafts?
I honestly like the draft coming out from TOOBASED here. I think it's got a lot of solutions. It's got, tower push. It's got, once Boris hits that mid game on the Luna, I think he's going to come online a lot faster than Faceless Void as well. I think that all the buildings are just going to be gone. And I've seen how 5-up plays. 5-up is just, he is very, very aggressive. And I think that's going to pay off for him here. So I'm going to go with TOOBASED.
Jenkins, I would usually ask you what team you're going for, but I'm just going to start an accusation. You liar. They picked up Monkeys Forever Death Prophet and I Annihilate on the Bat Rider. What do you have to say for yourself there, you so-called analyst?
Very surprised because Monkeys Forever and I Annihilate play both of these heroes, but Monkeys Forever is obsessed with Bat Rider. It looks like he has been banned from playing it because he won't shut up about it over team comms. So that's probably what happens. They're punishing him right now.
Okay. I like this analysis. What team do you like more? Or what draft do you like more?
I like them both, Avo.
Don't be a coward, Jenkins. Pick a team.
Yeah, get off that fence, Jenkins.
I'm gonna go Bumble bEE's. They have tower pushers.
All right.
Are you okay?
Okay, what a great explanation. We're gonna get into the game. First game of the series between bumblbees and simply TOOBASED. What team will be able to remain in the lower bracket? We'll have to see now as we get right into the first game of the day and of this series, taken by the great casting pair of Moxxi and Jenkins.
It's simply
All right. Into the game we go. Feels good to be paired up again, Jenkins. I missed having our conversations and whatnot. Poor Avo has to deal with us, but I like this. I like the fact that we've got a 5 Mars. I'm interested to see, what Moo's going to be able to do with this hero.
Oh, I Annihilate. Maybe Monkeys Forever should have been on the Bat Rider. Okay.
Clearly, this proves everything, that Jenkins was right and I Annihilate was wrong. I wish we had cameras, honestly, so we could see the players and just look at Monkeys just pouting this entire game.
He is
you think
not
he's pouting?
happy. Oh, he's been messaging me. He's been private messaging me.
Yes.
Mostly with just, he's making fun of me for all the times he's kicked me off of teams and stolen my slot, but also saying that he really wishes he could have been Bat Rider in this game. But Death Prophet, also one of his favorite heroes, so he's not too unhappy, It's like getting vanilla ice cream instead of chocolate.
I would be very unhappy.
Okay. Well, that's where the threats and the very sad messages are coming in.
There we go. We get the tip. It has begun, Monkeys. Tip in Eternal Envy here. Oh boy. I love it, Dota. I missed this. Moo's already getting that all chat banter. You love to see it. The storylines, Jenkins.
What is this click war that they're referring to? I don't know these memes.
You haven't been invited to the click parties?
I have not been invited to the click. I don't get invited to anything. I don't know how I got invited to this. I think Dakota made a mistake.
Well, I'm glad you're here either way.
Thank you. Very nice.
You're welcome. All right, though. Let's take a look at this top lane here. Got the Luna and Phoenix combo, and seeing some harassment being tossed out here by Empyrean and Z-Freak just clicking away. This is kind of nice, though, right? Because you've got that stun. If you want to try to set up for arrows for Z-Freak, you've got, of course, Z-Freak, no stranger to the Mirana, could probably land his own arrows, but it's always nice to have that little bit of extra insurance here.
It's a lot of damage if you set up a really long duration arrow. Like Mirana's a super nice hero to pair with the DK. It's something that can also sit behind him while he's pushing a tower, and people always have to be afraid. Like, is the Mirana there? Like, am I going to die if I go and try to defend this tower?
Be watching those corners at all times when there is a Mirana. Bottom lane is kind of interesting, right? Because I feel like Moo's pretty tanky. He's gonna be able to put out a decent amount of harass, but Void is not an active hero in lane. He just wants to be able to go and hit, the creeps. Although as I say this, they're just chonking away over here at 5 up. Still gonna be Moo who gets the first blood, but the other thing I forgot to mention is that Envy's a maniac, and he does not play his heroes like everyone else necessarily.
Yeah, I've even seen him go for time dilation level 2 in certain matchups just to get get the damage out and harass. But it looks like in terms of actually killing heroes, he favors the time lock, and getting one bash there does secure him the kill. I Annihilate, farming up the stack. It's so unfortunate on Batrider how slow you are at farming jungle camps these days. But then again, if you're playing against it, not so unfortunate, because this hero was very toxic when it was being picked up before.
I like how you say that's toxic when there is a Ryoya Viper.
This is true.
In this game.
Yeah, maybe not the right word. Viper, not so fun to play against.
No. I mean, both of these are extremely annoying, though, right? Because you're always going to have, you know, the sticky napalm being stacked upon you, but the difference is you can get some wand charges off of the sticky napalm, whereas Viper's poison attack doesn't quite do the same here for you. You just end up losing your HPs.
There's a few things in Dota that should give wand charges. Taunts are one thing. There should be a punishment that, yes, because then it's the ultimate taunt that you're willing to give wand charges away.
Oh, that's fair, actually.
To BM.
That is
like,
true.
Look how good I am that I can give you wand charges and still win.
I mean, there's got to be other ways that you can, like, really BM, like, besides the taunt, you know, purposely, you know, just tossing out spells here and there, I guess, but...
Getting 2 denies right under tower is pretty BM if you're King RD. DK.
Ooh, oh, nicely done here. Imperium's going to tank that arrow.
Yeah.
Protecting his Luna. Excellent.
Great soak from him, although they did have the tower aura, so... Ooh, bottom lane.
Yep.
5 up. Gonna
throwing
do...
up the shards. Don't think it's enough damage to really necessarily get a kill here, but Moo is just going to keep chasing down, try to get this nice bounty rune, take it away from the enemy team. And I Annihilate, though, picking up the water rune. He's going to make his way over. It's not really that fast as Moo goes. He drops the spray. See, that maybe that should give wand charges. What do you think? And he's just going to teleport out, because what can they do here, Jenkins? Absolutely nothing. Not yet, anyways.
Bit of a waste of time for I Annihilate. Moo is doing a lot of work on Mars in this game. Not a hero that you would think is able to win lanes and make space like this, but the Orb of Venom Windlace pickup has been paying dividends, getting that first blood. I think without that, there's no way that they get first blood on 5 up down here. I would think Death Prophet Tusk should dumpster this lane.
Get a nice snipe on the courier while this is going on. Z-Freak doing some Mirana things here. But yeah, no, I think how much of it is just that Moo is just so sturdy as well. The fact that he can be up in these heroes' faces and allow Envy to just hit the creeps. I feel like that's very value.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's got big HP. He's got tower regen. He's got Ring of Regen to work with now as well. And on the top lane, we see this kind of typical... Now it's typical scenario where DK just gets left alone. Mirana can go jungle. Obviously, this means Boris is going to have quite a good time, but DK is not really a hero that applies that much pressure outside of kill threat. And, like, Mirana can go jungle and just show up later and then, you know, get a kill. It's like not like Mirana needs to sit there all the time.
And the other thing, too, is that eventually, you know, it feels like you will have this rotation coming out. Whenever you see the Dragon Knight or, like, the Death Prophet, you usually see them try to make a rotation up to the, or to the whatever safe lane they're on.
Yep.
And take the tower. So that's something that they do have to be cognizant about. I'm sure Boris is very happy right now that he's being allowed to have this breathing room, because the tower push will be coming for sure. I Annihilate, though, take a bit of damage. They make the rotation here. Moo is here as well. Can they get off the final hit? The spear over to the side. One more. Yeah, Ryoya will collect himself a kill on I Annihilate. And now 5 up is stuck in a world full of toxicity and hurt, because he is going to be coming right back up again here against Ryoya, and they will be able to secure another kill.
Those kills are a pretty big deal, Moxxi. It's, I think, in response to the DK pushing this top lane and the Death Prophet pushing the bot lane, what's going to need to happen is both of these carries can't really deal with either of these pushes, and so it's going to be the mid laners that are rotating to these. And if I Annihilate's really low level, it means that he's not going to be strong to rotate to DK while he's pushing. So the deaths happen on the mid lane, but ironically, it's the side lanes that are going to be affected when these towers start going down.
I would really love to see the supports over on the side of TOOBASED do some stacking here, right? Because you've got multiple people who can take these stacks. Obviously, Boris is a fine priority. Ooh, Z-Freak walking right into everybody here. Use a couple of these leap charges. He's going to be able to survive this, but does scout out. There's quite a few people here, as in the bottom lane. Eternal Envy gets the kill on Monkeys with the Chrono.
Oh, yeah. Travels on Ryoya. Those 2 kills mid lead to him getting travels. He just went straight wand, Boots of Travel. Doesn't even have a bottle yet. So Monkeys Forever just wasn't expecting that because, I mean, who expects a Viper to have absolutely no regen into Boots of Travel rush at this timing? I mean, it's so early. This really hurts TOOBASED and the way they want to play in this game because not only is the mid lane shut down, that has spilled over, and Monkeys Forever shut down too. It's all on Boris now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
King Ao just pop that dragon form, wants to put some more pressure, but they did have the rotation from 5 up, trying to ensure that they can protect this tower, protect the jungle for Luna. So we do get another rotation. Ryoya coming top. And they're just backing off on the side of TOOBASED. They don't want to have to deal with this Viper at this time. This is going to allow King Ao to be able to push out the creep wave. Dragon form is, of course, just about over, though. But they can continue to put the pressure down.
Look at all this vision up here from TOOBASED. They see what's happening, but when Ryoya is up here, I don't know if you can, even with the vision, play up here. And so they just decide to get the trade on the bot lane with Monkeys Forever, popping the ult. Definitely the right play. It's not possible to fight into Ryoya currently. They need a couple more items.
Well, this also puts some pressure over onto Envy, right? The fact that they have taken away one of those access points into the jungle. They can also shift Boris down towards the bottom area of the map with the triangle. He is currently taking a stack. And Luna is one of those heroes that just naturally is going to farm faster thanks to those glaive bounces. Although, Zephyr giving him a little boop over here as he goes by.
Okay, I can't not point this out. This is the most Envy build ever. He has Mask of Madness Javelin. He has no boots. He's just gone for pure greed. I don't even know if I want to call it greed. I mean, I'm not questioning it. Like, it's Envy. I make YouTube videos about this guy. You know, I respect his item decisions and everything. He's a genius, but God, he's insane though. Like, what is this? What is this inventory? He's look at all the garbage he has in it too. Like Clarity, Salve, 3.
He's got some hoarding problems.
And he's not building into a full wand. He's not completing. He's not completing the wand. He's not. Why?
This is Eternal Envy Dota, you know? We've watched his games many times. We've seen him do some crazy stuff that no one else will do, and you know what? Sometimes it works out really nicely. But other times we're just left here, you know, pondering as mere mortals, you know? Why, Envy?
I love casting his games. I'm always so confused, but like pleasantly. Oh God, do not put the camera on him. Look at Boris's inventory. It's perfectly normal. He's got boots, power treads. Like, he's... At least he's got boots.
We have a dead Phoenix over here as Empyrean taking a lot of damage. Manages to land the Fire Spirit, so it takes him a little bit longer. The Snowball coming in, though, now from 5 up. They want to try to punish this as Boris runs forward. Getting a couple of these clicks off, they'll be able to take down Mr. Moo. I Annihilate was hoping possibly to partake in another gank here. Zephyr is going to walk underneath the sentry if he's not careful. He's skirting it just right
Chrono
about.
mid.
Chrono is mid as he'll find the kill on Monkeys Forever, but Ryoya, he might pay for this. He's pretty hard to take down. So they'll drop all the Firefly Snowball. Yes, they'll be able to find it. And now Envy in for trouble because they have the lasso. And they'll burn him to a crisp.
What
Are you okay? Are you okay, Jenkins?
I can't handle it. Oh my God, it is too early for Eternal Envy. He just walked back in. God, what a legend. You know, Monkeys wasn't expecting the amount of damage that he could do because he gets chronoed and then he clicks on Eternal Envy. He's like, what the hell? No wonder he's doing so much damage. He has Mask of Madness Javelin. Like, these are not items you have at this time usually. Like, he should have treads and some Wraith Bands in a typical build. But yeah, that's
it's Envy. You can't expect the typical. Rule number 1 of Envy Dota. Never expect the expected. They'll pop the dragon form though over here mid. Looks like they want to place some pressure on this tower. They do of course have the blink on King Ao.
Oh yeah, that's huge. That's really
scary.
Huge.
Viper Strike coming out here as they manage to find 5 up. He's got that high 5 going. He's got a snowball right back in again. Drop the shards. The swoop coming out from Imperium as he goes for the egg. Follow up here. Boris getting these clicks off. They need a little bit more damage. They'll be able to take down Ryoya. Egg will pop as they pop the Exorcism as well. They really want to put their own pressure on this mid tower after losing their top. So not sure what they can really hope to do right now other than throw out the fortification. Envy, of course, wanting to farm up. And Annihilate scouting over on the sides.
We're seeing one of the weaknesses of Viper here, that if he's even remotely out of position, you just die. If there is enough physical damage to tear through Viper, which of course Death Prophet's going to give you enough to tear through almost anything, you have the Tusk, and this is showing me that why the Tusk was such a great pickup in this game versus DK, Viper, Mars. Like, these 3 heroes, if you shard them out of position, they don't have some mobility like Mirana does to get out of that. They can't get away. They just die if they step out of position even slightly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
5 up is just standing over here on the side. King Al making his way over. Does not have that dragon form for another 20-something seconds, but they're taking their stacks. This has to make TOOBASED very angry. Boris making his rotation, starting to clean up, but already Ryoya has stolen one of the stacks. They have to protect these Jenkins.
This is one thing that the Eternal Envies have been doing really well in this game, playing on kind of the cusp of their little perimeter of farm that they're allowed, like poking their heads into the 2-base jungle, constantly stealing the stacks. We've seen this relentlessly from them up here. This is the first time Ryoya has been involved in it, but Z-Freak, he got... Okay, Eternal Envy, Chronoed.
Classic Envy, just trying to put that damage out. Does have the Mask of Madness, and it looks like they should be able to take down Annihilate, so... Good Chrono was up and Envy was ready. Annihilate was not.
Yeah, with Ryoya having Boots of Travel, your Chrono damage can show up at any point. You know, you have to be really careful on any of these side lanes because you have a Blink DK on one of them, and then you have Eternal Envy who's farming safely in his jungle, and he can Chrono you on the other side. So, yeah, Boris farming up the triangle. This is kind of the only area that's 100% safe. Monkey's playing the dangerous area right now top, but, you know, he's pretty tanky. He's got the Yule Scepter.
You don't have any of those classic escape heroes, though, for pushing out the scarier lanes. As, ooh, Imperium finds himself a Moo. Do they have the lockdown, though, is the question. As the rest of the team slowly collapsing over here on the Mars, they'll go for the Moonlight Shadow. They'll protect Moo for now. And they do have some sentry wards placed up, so Ryoya starting to creep over a little bit. But it's going to play it conservative for the time being. Although Moo is going to walk right underneath a sentry ward over here.
Pretty even game so far in terms of how both teams want to play. It's this battle where TOOBASED seems to be comfortable kind of holding their own jungle and protecting it while Boris farms up the triangle. And then on the other side, you know, the Eternal Envies, they're sitting here thinking, okay, well, we're poking our heads into their jungle, making space for Envy to farm ours. So in both cases, you have teams that are both like, oh, well, our carry is farming, so this is good. And I suppose the question is, like, who does this favor going into the late game? I think Luna has a bit of an earlier timing, and then Void probably has one after that.
The only thing I'm a bit concerned about is that I feel that Annihilate has been struggling a little bit. Just because he's been the target of chronospheres and whatnot. And I would like to see him perhaps be a little bit more aggressive with the Death Prophet or like the Phoenix, just pairing up with, you know,
some damage,
someone else and making, and making things happen. Because yes, Boris is farming excellent, but, you know, it's also important that this Bat Rider is still always placing pressure on the map and not allowing Envy to just be doing what he's doing, right? And just hitting creeps and not being concerned about the pressure. I feel like they need to put more pressure on the map, basically, for TOOBASED.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can swing the late game and make those timings that we talked about kind of irrelevant. If Bat Rider has a really good game, then all of a sudden you have this ridiculous pick-off potential in a hero, and any late game theory crafting that you can do just goes out the window because, you know, you get the right pick-off and all of a sudden it doesn't matter which carry beats which carry if they're just dead to a lasso.
They have no idea this Roche is happening at all over inside of TOOBASED. It's going to be an easy Aegis for Eternal Envy. And a little bit of a chase over here on Z-Freak, who is buying some more time. They actually use the lasso for this, so they'll end up losing the Mirana, but they have to be careful. Because the rest of the team, there it is, the blink forward coming out from King Al, followed up with a nice spear. They should be able to wipe Monkeys forever off the map, and then move back and go back to farming and perhaps push this top tower.
Z-Freak's build is extremely greedy, but also really cool that he has identified that he can go for max arrow. He's been sitting up in the top lane, not really contributing much to his team, and stealing creeps. That's all he's really been doing, is just arrowing creeps and getting huge, pushing out creep waves. He's really farmed for position 4 Mirana. You can see he's got 2,000 more net worth than the enemy position 4.
Ooh, you see how fast Imperium was just like, absolutely not. Luckily, they had a ward over there. Envy was starting to wind up there for half a second.
Yeah,
But
he's not interested.
TOOBASED. I think if it fell into his hand, I think he was interested, right? Would have to just neatly fall over. Though I Annihilate is being chased by dragons and vipers and all sorts of nasty things.
Ryoya got him.
Here. It's a click off.
Oh, wrong way. Okay.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, they're just going to teleport back to the mid lane and put pressure over on the mid tower, perhaps. Get themselves an arcane rune. Z-Freak throw it out the arrow. It's going to connect over onto Monkeys. They're not careful. Just barely dodging out of the way in time.
Middle tower has fallen.
That was a sweet arrow. Just throwing it to essentially secure the fact that nobody can deny the tower. Like that's how he almost connected with Monkeys there, is he anticipated that somebody's going to come up and try to deny this because it's dying to creeps. And so he can maybe hit an arrow. And so if it misses, they don't get the deny. If it hits, they maybe get a kill.
Yeah, it's a good, just even for the vision alone.
True, yeah.
Been very liberal with the arrows and just using them to scout.
He's
Just making sure it's safe. So, well, I mean, like we said, he's been throwing out these arrows to scout to make sure it's safe, and then he's just been hitting the creeps. He's being allowed to be very, very greedy, and they haven't been able to punish him, really.
An easy shot.
Look at them. Look at the sass on this boy. Arrowing one of Annihilate's creeps, giggling, you know. They drop a sentry ward because I figured that there could be a Moonlight Shadow attack, but the attack is actually top lane as Imperium is pinned over here to the wall. He is going to survive long enough to be able to go and use that egg. Not sure if the rest of the team, though, will be able to come defend in time. Boris leading the charge. They need to get within position here as they'll be able to land over onto Moo. They've got the snowballs. They go rolling on forward. Monkeys pulling out that exorcism. The Sunray, though, coming out from Imperium should be enough to keep alive as Moo does fall onto the back end. Eternal Envy getting out the damage. So no, they'll be able to take down the takedown 5-up, take down Boris. And the hunt is on for Monkeys Forever, who's just throwing out these ghosts. He manages to get the kill onto Ryoya. And now Imperium has to run for his life, flap those little birdie wings, but there's too many bashes as Envy gets himself a double kill. And they'll turn back around, though. They'll be able to get down Monkeys Forever. They want Mr. King Al because they've already used this BKB. The lasso will come into place. They'll take down the Dragon Knight. Envy, though, and Z-Freak, they're hunting. They jump forward. The time dilation over to Annihilate, plus these bashes. He can't escape. These woods are dark and full of terrors and full of his own death.
Hard to fight into this Aegis lineup right now on the side of Bumblebees. I think that they did a really great job. Once again, you see them playing on like the cusp of some sort of perimeter, and because of this, they're able to disengage the egg to the point where TOOBASED, if they want to take the fight, they have to overcommit and basically play way outside where they would normally be comfortable fighting. So basically, this entire game has just been extremely nice baits from Bumblebees, and you know, sometimes it falls flat. Sometimes you see Envy walking back in and dying to a lasso or something along those lines. But you know, that's the cost of playing so aggressive, is that sometimes you have those mistakes being made. But in that case, like TOOBASED just, I mean, they thought they were getting a good fight, but it was another bait.
One of the things I really enjoy when I'm watching specifically like Eternal Envy games is the fact that he tends to be very, very aggressive early. You know, I mentioned earlier during laning phase, it's a void, right? Most voids, they just want to kick back, they want to hit creeps, but Envy has been very, very active since the start of the laning phase. They were able to get themselves, it wasn't first blood for him, it was over to Moo, but the way that they're playing with this aggression is making it very hard for the side of TOOBASED to get that footing that they need. I figured when you see a Luna, when you see a Tusk and like a Death Prophet, you're going to be extremely aggressive early, but they've actually managed to out-aggression them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. I mean, Envy, even when he plays Sven and Anti-Mage and these like, well, not that he plays that much Anti-Mage, but back when he was playing Sven or if he's playing Luna, these like hard farming type heroes, he runs at towers. He takes whatever strength he has and he applies it on the map, even if other players might argue that there are other heroes that could be doing that on his team and that they're making space for him and he should be farming, et cetera, et cetera. This guy has his own opinion on Dota. I suppose that does go both ways in this series though, because I see Monkeys Forever as a type of player like that too, where like no matter what the meta is, this guy's playing Bat Rider off lane, Death Prophet off lane, these like int off laners. Like he's got his style, and it makes it so interesting to watch these teams fight up against each other because they both have such a unique way of looking at Dota.
Oh my god, Z-Freak has a full set of Guardian Greaves.
Yeah, he's tremendously huge.
He's loaded. Yeah.
He almost has as much net worth as I Annihilate in Monkeys.
Oh, this
These
is a
are
dead
cores.
5 up. Monkey's trying whatever he can do, but unfortunately not going to be able to do too much here, so.
You know, this is obviously looking very Bumblebee's favored, but Boris is huge, and he is the type of player that has 1v5 before, that is fully capable of 1v5ing. He has Luna, a hero capable of 1v5ing, and he is building the 1v5 dataless Aghanim Shard build. So, if you're two-based, obviously you're hoping that you're wishing that the game up until this point has gone a little bit better. But still, it's not like it's uncarryable by Boris. Boris can still have a great team fight happen where he gets a rampage, and it looks like that's exactly what they're looking for here. This is his timing.
Yeah, they go in for the smoke. We've got BKBs that are fresh as well. It's all about getting the jump, though. They need to make sure they do not get Chronosphere. It is smoke-on-smoke action, so 5 up is going to break it. Boris, though, jumping forward immediately. The Sunray comes out. Snowball, though, buying them just enough time to protect as they're outside the Chronosphere. They've got plenty of damage here coming out from the Exorcism. The egg, though, needs protection. And are they going to be able to do it? King Ao, he's trying so hard. One more hit. No, he's not going to be able to. His Empyrean will be able to crack open the egg. Eternal Envy, they cancel out the stun. Do they have the detection, though? Can they get over to him fast enough? They do not. Envy's going to be able to survive. His Aegis just timing out shortly before this as well. He's still in the vicinity here. Thinking about maybe going back and move, following up here with a beautiful arena over onto Annihilate. He tries to save him in time. He's not going to be able to 5 up though. Z-Freak will fall. Eternal Envy, but just a little bit too greedy as he ends up falling. And now Moo. It's going to be a triple kill for Boris. And like you said, Jenkins, this guy, when push comes to shove, can make some big things happen.
I legit think he's going to 1v5 this game. It seems like that's where the momentum is going. He is very capable of doing that as a player too, historically speaking. So, yeah, looking not so bad for TOOBASED, even though that fight was a little bit awkward from them. Once again, getting baited by bumblebees and over chasing there until their BKBs were down. Still, they get a good trade.
I think they split the fight really nicely too, over on the side of TOOBASED, because if you notice that you had the BKB got popped over on Mr. King Ao, but it was just him hitting the egg, and when the egg went off, they were just so split up over on the side of the Eternal Envies. So.
And 5 up with the snowball saving from the
snowball
chrono.
save. Oh my god!
And then he also saved the egg as well with the Walrus Punch, which baited out the entire BKB from Dragonite. So. We are talking about Boris a lot because it's just fun to see him get rampages, but 5 up was definitely the MVP of that fight.
For sure. If Luna doesn't get saved there, you can see Empyrean. He was trying to use the Sunray, but there was just so much damage, especially with that Nether Toxin on the ground too. So definitely saving here. But we have a smoke play coming out now from the side of TOOBASED. They know that the Chronosphere is down, so they're hoping maybe they can get a pick because they do, of course, have the lasso on Annihilate, but. They're approaching over to the castle area. Firefly just getting a little bit of information, sweeping through. No one is home, though.
Yeah, they...
Kings. They know Moo's here, monkeys. Just gonna walk forward here.
Wait. What? Are you serious? Why the hell did that creep wave not pull? That was
Dota
weird.
2.
The catapult did. I'm so confused. I'd be mad if I was monkeys. Like, they were trying to hold control of the triangle area by pulling waves, but it's like that wave failing. I mean, they had to leave
Pyrian
anyway.
will tank the gank as he walks into, well, it doesn't walk into anything. Gets stunned up, and then the arrow connects. So that is your position 5, though, on the side of 2-base that tanks that gank for you. I think you're more than happy to lose them, and not, of course, you know, Monkeys Forever, who was very, very close by. But you have to be careful now. You do have the Chronosphere back up. You see Boris continues to farm. King Al just trying to place a little bit of pressure on the tower. Again, does have a BKB available. But the rest of the bumblebees here taking Luna's jungle and trying to possibly intercept Boris. Does have that little bit of advantage with that night vision, but
They've got a good ward too, scouting Envy. And he has no BKB on Envy.
Ooh, and I Annihilate jumping and dragging out Eternal Envy. There will be absolutely no Chronosphere here. As Moo is now forced to run out. Boris, of course, having to pop that Eclipse. They're still hunting, though. They're hoping they can get anyone else, but they do have the Blinks. Blinks leaps everything. I Annihilate tries to get over. Yeah, they're just going to use that Exorcism. They know that there's no Eternal Envy. No Chronosphere that they have to worry about, and he does not have buyback, so this is looking very good for the side of 2-based.
All right, most.
Ooh, the arrow, though, over onto Monkeys. Fury, he's got him, though. He's got the Sunray. He's got to heal up his bro. And that's an Aegis here for Boris. And the cheese going over to Monkeys.
This is looking like Boris is going to carry this one. He has a Eon Disc queued up. I'm not entirely sure if he is going to finish that. I wouldn't mind seeing a Satanic or Butterfly, something that helps him scale a little bit more. And then again, there is the argument that you have this advantage now for 2-based. You have the momentum, so maybe he doesn't need more damage. Maybe they feel like they have enough damage and he just needs to survive the chrono. I think that's a perfectly valid way of thinking about it. But also, if you're a carry player, you could think like, oh, it's my support's job to save me. I'm going to get a Satanic, be tankier in the chrono, but not have that guaranteed save of the Eon Disc. Although, let's see. Yeah, he is sending it out. So he is going to get an Eon Disc.
I think that's not the worst thing if you're Chronosphered up.
And the Dragon Tail as well. Like, there's a lot to peel off with that the Dispel.
Have to say the fast fingers coming out here from I Annihilate on the Batrider, really securing that fight. That's something that Envy's going to be very, very careful about.
Boris,
positioning.
Get your item, Boris. Boris, the Vitality Booster. It's on the courier.
Oh no, not like this. Not like this.
He is. I don't know what's going on with him.
He's in the zone, okay? He's pressured. He's like, it's go time. It's go time. He hasn't noticed it. It's coming back. He's got the courier redelivering. They need to reveal himself. Look at this damage over on this tower. They put out the fortification.
This is a good Luna build. I really like the Lucent Beam, Mini Stun, Aghanim Shard, Daedalus build. It's one of these things that there's a lot of Dota heroes right now that are really difficult to commit into. You just lose if you commit into them, like Viper, for example. You try to fight into all the poison damage, and he just kills you. Phoenix, same thing. Faceless Void, Chrono, like, all of these things are really hard to fight into, and so you just don't ever enter into the fight because you are standing on the outside spamming Lucent Beam. It's really cool. It's like the PL build with the Aghanim Shard and Ether Lens.
Oh, fortification will come out. They're also putting their own pressure here over on the tier 2 on the Dire side, but they're gonna have to come home soon. They have this Aegis. They've got the Shard online for Luna. She's doing a lot of damage. And you're gonna see one of the first TPs coming in. Moonlight Shadow gets applied. They don't have any sentry wards, so they're just gonna back off for now. We can see over here Moo making his way. Nice arcane rune for Mr. Monkeys if he'd like to pick it up.
Yeah, Exorcism with the Arcane Rune, Monkeys. I love the casual Sange. This is one of the most standout items of the patch from the Animator. Like, you see everybody just building a Sange on any hero. That self HP regen and lifesteal amp seems to be a little bit too strong, and also one of the only sources of status resistance in the game still. For such a cheap item, it does a lot.
Ryoya loses his courier because he's sending it over to that secret shop, and King Al's courier also falling.
Yeah, did you know the Luna Lucent Beam Ag Shard hits couriers?
I do now.
It's one of the best. It might be the best courier sniping ability in the game. I saw Arkosh was sniping couriers with that ability. That's how I know that.
Ah, excellent. Yes.
I was at the clinic.
Yeah, how are your man? You've had a lot of surgeries lately, and your teeth have been falling out too, dude. Are you all right? I think.
Yeah.
I think you got to be careful with the with your diet at the very least.
Yeah, I'm pretty done with the invasive surgeries. Let me tell you, the diet sodas have been not doing such great things for me. But I've been feeling a lot better since I've been drinking the mates. So
good, excellent. You have a little bit more day, more night. It's always a nice feeling, you know.
Yeah, they're organic and kind of all natural, as opposed to the festered bile that is these other diet sodas.
Did you know that mate is actually a Brazilian type of tea? You love tea.
Now I know that. Now I know.
Yeah. It is a specific type of tea.
Okay.
Gives you a nice bell curve instead of the, the straight up and then immediate drop off here in terms of energy. But yeah, so Luna, it's going to be the end of the Aegis here, as we just have so many items in Boris's inventory right now.
He needs to get his...
He needs to figure out what he's doing.
Come on. Look at all of this garbage. Dude, just assemble the Eon Disc. Who cares? This is... I mean, anybody with OCD watching is just closing the stream at this point.
Triggered. Bunch of hoarders, these players here. But we do have the smoke over in the side of TOOBASED. We had a smoke earlier on the side of the bumblebees, and no one's really home. Although Annihilate sitting over here in this mid lane is going to clean it up. And if anyone's paying attention, might try to make a jump here. But
surprised there's no pings coming out on him. Nobody was looking at that, even though they have vision. They have a ward right in the mid lane. Yeah, they can force back on TOOBASED. They can definitely force back the... Oh yeah,
they've got the exorcism, and they're just gonna start putting the pressure on the tower.
The Egg Shard does not hit towers. That's one thing that would be
I think
really
that'd be incredibly broken. Yes, if that were the case, but doing enough damage as it is. So Monkeys Forever is going to get speared to the womp here, and following up though with, and again, these snowballs coming in hot. They have the lasso. They're going to hold Eternal Envy into place as they'll follow up. Egg going off on the back line, so he'll end up losing 5 up, but he's already done his job. He's protected the people that he's needed to. So they go. Egg will pop over on the back line. Eternal Envy looking for the opening. Still has the Chronosphere. BKB comes out though on Boris. He has assembled the Aeon Disc, and he's just going to try to back off. He's going to try to man-fight Envy here with the silence, too. He's not going to be able to do this. Oh, the arrow, though. Aeon Disc will proc. Monkeys coming back in. They bought up a 5-up. No, there's no... Oh, the snowball. He just doesn't seem to be able to do it. The roll forward over onto Envy. He's got the Lotus. 5-up. Needs to carefully just bought back for this. Ryoya dropping the Nether Toxin over here on the ground. Monkeys Forever. Ryoya does fall, though. Envy jumping back in, jumping back out again. Mixer King out. Trying to get back into the base. He cannot do it. As TOOBASED just starts wailing away over on their buildings. And the bumblebees can't do anything right now but watch.
Man, it's really hard to judge in these fights if you're bumblebees. How much does TOOBASED need to commit where you can actually chase into them? Because Boris, his Eon Disc got procced. His Black King Bar, he used it. He had used everything. And so Envy thought that the Chrono was going to be a good Chrono, but there wasn't any follow-up damage for it.
Alright, Moo, he got very excited and thought that perhaps he could make something happen. Though Envy jumping into the back line, jumping back again, just back and forth, man. Another arrow tossed out, sidestepping it neatly here as Boris, again, this is the power of a Luna in the mid-game. You start walking into the base and you start just shredding buildings. They're lucky they didn't lose Moo there, to be quite honest.
Yeah, with the hard commit 3v5. You'd think they would lose somebody, but yeah, I think this Luna Aghanim Shard would be a little too OP if it hit buildings, because we can see there exactly why Luna's already so strong at taking barracks. I mean, you lose your tier 3 and all of a sudden you're dying to glaives in the back lines. It's a big pain.
It's interesting to see how this has evolved, though, too, because I know the only team that was really successful with it over in the Europe region was Team Bald. Gork actually was building the Luna this particular way with the Shard, with a Scotty, and for the rest of the time, like, no one else was doing it. And now that we've got this, you know, realization that, you know, you get a Daedalus on Luna and you can just start dropping and look at, oh, King Owl with the play there. That was supposed to be Boris's double damage. How incredibly rude.
That does save them. Like, I think if Boris has the DD, there probably isn't a way of fighting and you lose barracks. Oh, they're doing a full wraparound.
Play.
Okay.
They get Empyrean's Courier, but now they know. I'm not sure that was necessarily the play, as Monkey's using this exorcism, just going to continue forcing Boris's Courier. Also dying here, so they know exactly where they are. But they'll get a TP in. Got the Moonlight Shadow, they're in position. And look at the way that they're sitting here. Okay, the jump forward here coming out from King Owl, but the BKB comes out from Monkeys as well. Annihilate looking for an opening. Lotus will protect King Owl. Z-Freak copying forward here. Gets a couple of these clicks off. They'll drop the Nether Toxin. That's going to be the Aeon Disc. Jump over again. There's the Chronosphere. Do they have it, though? Can they keep him alive for long enough? They've got the Sunray. They have too much damage. Boris will fall. And now Monkeys is left alone. Over here on the side, 5 up, though, again, with the snowball play. Beautifully done. Egg coming out. He's trying to do everything he can, but he's not going to be able to survive as they pop the egg. Monkeys, he was saved by 5 up, but he's not going to get saved this time around. And now 5 up is just forced to run away as they are just hunting him down. Throws out the shards. The arrow connects from Z-Freak. This is a dead Tusk.
Man, you can see what Boris was trying to do there. He had Refresher Orb in his inventory, so he was kind of committing for the barracks, committing his Aeon Disc, committing his BKB, because he was ready to just press Refresh and bait the Chrono and suicide for the racks there, but didn't get the Refresher off before Envy jumped in and hit the Chrono, so maybe a little bit overzealous, looking to secure the win here, which this is something that TOOBASED struggles with as a team, is that they know where to go on the map, they know what to do, they know what the correct play is, and sometimes they'll get really overexcited and just kind of rush it, which definitely happens with newer teams, with younger teams, and it's good to see that level of like motivation and excitement in a game. But of course, you know, lack of discipline is something that any solid team is going to capitalize on.
Yeah, it's just the inexperience, I think, and realizing, you know, okay, we do need to chill. We are ahead. You know, we've got this. Let's not give them the opportunity. But, you know, sometimes the energy and the excitement gets to be too much here. But beside TOOBASED, everyone's back up again. And they're going to venture out of the base. Do, of course, have the Aegis now over on the side of the bumblebees. But it's over on Ryoya, interesting. So I guess the fact that, you know, Envy is able to go in and out, back and forth like that, they decided it was a higher value on the Viper. Do you like this? I feel like the way that, like, if they get the jump on Envy, it's pretty horrendous for them, right?
Yeah, he can die. I suppose the thought process is maybe that if Envy uses Chronosphere in a fight, he's kind of useless anyway. Like, the next fight, if Bumblebees loses it, they probably lose the game. And so they're banking on like Envy hitting a good Chrono, maybe off the back of baiting Viper. Like, they see it as the Aegis on Viper as being like a play opportunity for them to actually win the game here.
This is nice, though. They have the Refresher Shard on Envy. He's got the Ninja Gear, so he can get into a good position. They've got a Lotus. They've got a lot of things to try to protect him from this lasso.
Empyrean.
To jump forward, though, immediately over onto Iron Light. Not fast enough. King Owl blinking forward. Again, not quite quick enough with these fingers. Monkeys turns back around. They see Ryoya. They've got the Moonlight Shadow. Can they do enough damage? That's the question. Is Ryoya, okay, that Aegis is just absolutely gone. They'll follow up with an Arena 5 up, though, buys a little bit more time, but they still manage to get the kill as they get the drag over here onto the side, over onto Ryoya as he comes right back up again. This exorcism working out quite a bit, but the, oh no! Oh, the tips come out. Envy, you had everything to protect you, but you weren't able to do it. You were not able to land the Chronosphere. As now Monkey's Forever, the Aeon Disc will pop. He's still got quite a lot of damage here. Mu hiding into the tree lines. Envy looking for the opening again. King Ao is a great big dragon, but there it is. There's the arrow coming in. Hot Monkeys is going to go pop the cheese. They have a lot of damage. Can they take out Monkeys? They will be able to. BKB coming out now from Envy, but also coming out from Boris as he's on the hunt. He's going to try to man fight over here onto King Ao. They're going to force to run away. Buyback coming out now from Monkeys Forever. They're hunting Boris. King Ao not quite finding the opening here. That's going to be the Lincoln's pop. They do manage to find Monkeys. He can't afford a die back, but Z-Freak over here on the corner has to be careful as Boris finds himself another kill. Envy looking for the opening. He's going to jump in, jump back out again. Has quite a few stacks over on him. Has to be careful here. I'm not sure about this, Envy. That Chronosphere, yeah, you landed, but you're going to pay for it with your life, and you do not have buyback as they are just running into the base now, coming out from the side of TOOBASED. Whereas King Ao, he tanks one of those Lucent Beams to the face. I don't think they even care, Jenkins. I think they're hungry. They want to finish this. You have to be careful, though. Ryoya is up, and the tower flag does a decent amount of damage, but they're just gonna go right back in again. The lasso from I Annihilate. King Ao is here. It's not enough, though, to protect them as they fall to the summer. BKB coming out from King Ao, but they have plenty of damage as they've taken down all the towers now. King Ao trying to get back into the base. Ryoya is trapped in these shards. He just fought back. This is looking like he is going to die a second time within the minute. He doesn't have to take down Imperium on the way, but the BKB comes out from Boris. They've had enough. This game belongs to TOOBASED.
God, I love NA Dota. I love NA Dota. You know, you got the classic Boris 1v5. This is what he does. He gets rampages. The guy's rank like 300 or 400, which is terrible in pubs. And somehow he's just carrying TOOBASED in officials against like literal rank 5s, like moves like rank 5 or something. It makes no sense. You got Envy whiffing Chronos, going boots, third item. Like, this is what we like to see. What a great game. What a great comeback from TOOBASED. So entertaining. That's all we care about.
It's a great way to start off our day here for NA Dota. Got everything, you know, the checklist. If we have a bingo, which we should make an NA bingo at some point, so you can check it off and see. But we got everything here going on. But we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have Avo, and we'll be able to discuss this further.